Hello students, I am Narsimlu, Commerce teacher. Today I am going to teach you CEC second year Accountancy Unit 2 Consignment Accounts Part 1 Introduction to Consignment, the differences between consignment and sale. So in this video I will cover two topics. One is introduction to consignment, another is the differences between consignment and sale. Dear students, in the annual examination you may get a 5 marks question as the differences between consignment and sale, or a 2 mark question may come, what does it mean consignment, or define the consignment. So there is the chance to get minimum 5 marks and maximum 7 marks from this video. So dear students, carefully you watch the video and take down the important points that I will explain here. Objectives of this video: introduction and meaning of consignment, the important terms consignor, consignee and goods sent on consignment, the differences between consignment and sale. So these topics I will cover in this video. So one by one we can go to learn. Consignment. Dear students, here meaning and need for consignment. Consignment is a special natured business where one person sends the goods to another person for sale, those goods on behalf of him. For that, the person who sold the goods will get a certain percentage of commission on sales. So here one person sells the goods to another person but not selling, just he transfers the goods from his godown to the another person godown, and here another person receives the goods and stores the goods in his godown or in his shop, sells those goods to the customers, and whatever the goods he sold on behalf of the person who sent the goods, for that he gets some commission. So it's a special nature business. For that it is called as special nature business. Let's we see here. The process of sending of goods by one person to another person for sale for the consideration of commission is known consignment. So if you observe this sentence, in this sentence it tells clearly consignment means it is the process where one person sending the goods to another person for sale on behalf of him for the consideration of commission is known as consignment. Okay students, here two persons will involve in this type of business, that is consignment business. Now the person who sends the goods is known as consignor. Here I said that there are two persons involved in this business. One person sells the goods, another person receives the goods. So the person who sends the goods is called or known as consignor. That is one point. And second, the person to whom goods are sent is known as consignee. So in the consignment business, the person who receives the goods from the consignor is known as consignee. Okay students, I hope you understood the two terms, important terms, the two persons involved in consignment. One is consignor, another is consignee. Consignor is a person, one who sends the goods to another person is called as consignor. Consignee is a person to whom we send the goods is known as consignee. Okay students, now see here. Consignor is called the principal and the consignee is called as an agent. The relationship between the consignor and the consignee is principal and agent relationship. So here consignor is called as principal and whereas consignee is called as an agent. So here the relationship is as principal and agent relationship. So agent has to listen the orders of the principal. So whatever the principal says, the agent should follow. He can't take on his own any decisions. So here goods will be sent by the consignor to consignee. So the consignee receives the goods according to the instructions of principal or consignor. He sells the goods to his customers. For that he get certain rate of commission on sales. So I think you understood. Here three things. One is consignor, one person or two persons are involved in this business. One is called as consignor, another is consignee, and the relationship between them is principal and agent relationship. Now go for another slide. Example, we can go to observe one example. Here X sends goods to Y for consignment sale. X is known as consignor and Y is known as consignee. Just before, as I told, in the consignment business there will be two persons. So here in this example there are two persons involved. One is X, another is Y. X sends the goods to Y on consignment. So X is the consignor, he sends the goods, and Y is the consignee to whom the goods are sent. Okay students, I hope you understood better with this example. And come to see here next. The consignee is paid commission for selling the goods on behalf of consignee at the risk of the owner or consignor. Here consignee gets the goods from the consignor and he sells the goods on behalf of him, so that he gets some commission from the consignor on the consignment sales. Okay students, here what the consignee gets? Commission. The commission is calculated on what? On consignment sales. This commission can be taken from consignor. Okay students, whatever the sales he made, whatever the amount he made on the sale of consignment goods, that can be sent to the consignor. So this concept should be understood. Right, next slide we can go to see here. Differences between consignment and sale. So I hope you understood what does it mean consignment. Now, and already you know that what does it mean sale. Now we can go to compare and we can go to find some differences between consignment and sale. See here students, there are some differences between consignment and sale. When it comes to parties, in the consignment business there are two persons. There are two parties Here consignor and consignee. In the consignment business we have two parties, one is consignor, another is consignee. But whereas say in sales there are two parties, here seller and buyer. If you observe, when we see in the consignment there are two parties, one is consignor, another is consignee. And in case of sale there are also two parties, one is seller, another is buyer. And ownership of goods. So ownership of goods, the ownership of goods does not transfer from consignor to consignee. In the consignment business, the consignor sends the goods to consignee, but the ownership does not transfer from his hand to consignee's hand. So here the real owner of the goods is consignor, but not the consignee. Of course, the goods may be in his store or in his godown. So ownership remains in the hands of consignor. Whereas come to sales, here the ownership of goods transferred from the seller to buyer. In the sales, what's happening? As and when we sell the goods to buyer, immediately the ownership of the goods transferred from the seller to buyer. Come to next point, relationship. When we talk about relationship between consignor and consignee, the relationship between consignor and consignee is principal and agent relationship. So here the agent should follow the instructions of the principal. Here the relationship between consignor and consignee is a principal and agent relationship. And when it comes to sales, in case of credit sale, the relationship between the buyer and seller is a debtor and creditor relationship. And come to next, risk of loss of goods. Risk of loss of goods. So what's happening here? And the risk of loss of goods, in case of the goods are destroyed, the consignor has to bear the loss. Though the goods may be in the store of a consignee. Children, here it is very, very important. Actually, consignor sends the goods to consignee. So the consignee kept the goods in his store. Unfortunately, the goods are destroyed. In such case, the consignee should not pay any amount to the consignor. The entire loss will be borne by the consignor. And in case of sales, in case of goods are destroyed after sale, the buyer has to bear loss. So once the goods are sold, the entire ownership is transferred to the buyer, and buyer has to bear the loss if the goods are destroyed. And come to next, profit or loss. The profit or loss belongs to the consignor. In case of consignment, whatever the profits that made on consignment sales will be enjoyed by the consignor. In case of sales, the profit or loss on sale belongs to seller. And the last and final point, that is account sales. Here not appears it properly, but the sixth point is that account sales. It is a statement prepared by the consignee and sent to consignor periodically on some intervals, means month wise or day wise, month wise or quarterly, off yearly or yearly. He prepares the statement and sends to consignor. That statement is called as account sales. Account sale is a statement which is prepared by the consignee and sent to consignor on periodically, maybe monthly or quarterly or off yearly or annually. That's depend upon the agreement between consignor and consignee. And in case of sale, the buyer should not cannot prepare any such a statement and cannot send to seller. So these are the major differences between consignment and sale. Dear students, in the annual examination you will get this question for 5 marks in sometimes. So you have to understand the differences between consignment and sales. Now I hope students from this video you have learnt the meaning and introduction of consignment and the parties involved in consignment, and the differences between consignment and sale. Okay, thank you for watching this video.